You may not be able to tell based on my attire, but this is the calm before the heat storm. We've got another mini heat wave passing through. It was up to the low 30s yesterday, same today, before the break in the weather comes, and thunder and rain and back to normal temperatures. Unfortunately, Will and I won't be here to enjoy that, but fortunately, we've got a little mini break in Melbourne coming up. I'll bring you along for part of that, no doubt, but nevertheless, what I am doing out and about at this time is some new plants arrived yesterday. I've given them a bit of time yesterday afternoon and overnight to relax after travelling through the postal system. They came via post, and this morning I'm going to plant them out because I don't want them sitting around in pots whilst we're away. And because the weather's going to be hot today, I would usually avoid planting new plants out in that sort of heat, but I also know the heat's going to break later, it's going to rain, and then the next few days are going to be much cooler, so not bad conditions actually for putting new plants in the garden. I've got 4. It's going to take a bit of time, and I'm sort of a bit up against it because we're heading off for stage 1 of our trip, which is staying at the beach house. But nevertheless, I'm trying to keep calm, get these planted, keep my cool. As you can see, as I mentioned, it's not that hot yet, so good conditions for planting. Will's still asleep in bed, so I'm trying to be a bit quiet, but I'll show you the plants. I managed to pick up the 2 final trees to form our little citrus grove. So I've got a blood orange, because I love blood oranges. And I got a tangerine because I also absolutely adore tangerines, and they're very, very hard to come by. The tangerine has got the potential to turn into quite a big tree. The blood orange is a little bit more on the petite side. So my plan to form this arm of our citrus grove is to put the blood orange in this sort of area and the tangerine back there. So that's those. Got my handy tape measure so that I can make sure I'm putting them in an appropriate place. And then from a nursery I've not bought from before, I've got these plants. So this is an unusual plant called a winter sweet. It did suffer a bit in transit, I think. It was sort of folded over, which wasn't brilliant for it, so I hope it can straighten itself out over the next few days. And then this is a plant I've got to go along the hedge line to start our hedge planting, to go along our fence line rather. So this is the first of our plants. This is a jasmine, I think. I'll have to double check that. But essentially on the outside of the fence line, on the fence which goes to the back of the house, so along this fence line here, which goes all the way along towards the electricity station and Will's workshop, I'd like to plant climbing plants, whether they're evergreen or deciduous, fragrant or not fragrant, but anything that's flowering that can creep along this fence. So I'm going to put this one in this sort of section, I think, because it's apparently got very, very, very nice fragrant flowers, and I thought that would be a nice thing to come in and out of the back door of the house, which is there too. So that's my plan for this morning. I just need to grab my tools, measure things out, and then get planting. That's that done. These trees are in situ, not entirely in a straight line. That's deliberate, little kangaroo, because you see him? They grow to different sizes, and I wanted to take that into account to ensure that when walking through the avenue, you're not having to dodge crazy trees all in the way. I won't show you the jasmine, that's not too much to write home about yet, but it's just about here. And then lastly, this is the winter sweet, planted up here. This is going to form some screening for this part of the lawn, as mentioned previously, beginning with this plant here. This will grow to a smallish sort of tree and will fill this space. But what's really nice about this plant is that it has these amazing fragrant flowers in winter. Apparently the flowers aren't much to look at, but they create this amazing perfume, which is why I've planted it relatively close to the house, but also in a somewhat discreet location, because apparently also in and of itself it's not the most attractive looking plant, although apparently it is possible to train it thus. I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to let it do its thing. So it's discreet, but hopefully we should be able to pick up its fragrance when we're in the garden pottering around about the house. Similarly with this plant, actually, this plant apparently has very, very nice, discreet but fragrant flowers. So hopefully the wind's in the right direction. Come winter time, we should be enjoying the glorious fragrance of the plants. And I've got another plant in mind along similar lines. I just love filling the garden with colour and perfume and year-round interest. So I'm glad that that project's moving on. And I have made a quick change because we are now off to the seaside for phase 1 of our Melbourne trip. So no doubt I will see you in the city.
It is the men's singles final of the Australian Open today. Apparently, we didn't realise this, but we noticed these fireworks from our hotel room. They seem to have stopped now, but that's what they're for. That's the tennis centre over there. You can see the MCG there. Well, further to my stumbling upon an Amel and the Sniffers gig a couple of months ago, I seem to have stumbled upon a Nick Cave gig. This is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I don't think I'll be able to get in, but here they are.
About Elvis Presley and the town that he was born, which was Tupelo. And specifically, it's about the storm of Tupelo, where there was a whole lot of wind and a whole lot of rain, where the fish couldn't swim and the birds couldn't fly. Are you ready? Put your hands in the air!
I'm back in the hotel room now, and the Nick Cave concert is still going on. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out, but there's the screen with Nick Cave. I can see it quite clearly. So it is possible to have watched the concert from our hotel room.
Which I did.
And the tennis too, although you can't actually see the tennis, but there's the tennis centre over there. But the tennis still going on. You can even see the tennis here on the telly. But yeah, the Nick Cave concert is fantastic. I was enjoying peering through the fence very much, and had quite a good view as well. But I thought I'd better come back. It's nearly 10 o'clock now. Hello.
Will's whittering on because he's jumping to see Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yes, I'm surprised that I convinced you to come to a Gilbert and Sullivan, but I'm good on you. I'm delighted.
Not normally my natural hunting grounds, but I thought I should give it a go. Patriotic bent and all of that. So we'll
Just like Wagner with better tunes.
We'll see. But we're in a theatre that we've not been to before, any of us. So I thought I'd give you a quick show around because it's quite pretty. Will was telling me this was a cinema. Is that right?
Yes, apparently it is a former cinema.
Looks very grand to be a cinema.
Well, it's one of those old-style picture palaces they built in the first half of the 20th century.
It's quite a big venue. I can't remember if I said or not, but we're here to see the Pirates of Penzance. County I am very familiar with, being Cornwall, not Penzance.
But not an opera you're familiar with. An opera I'm very familiar with.
We'll keep saying opera.
It is an opera.
I take the term advisedly anyway.
Light opera.
So I'll let you know what I think at the end of it. And so, because actually Will's an aficionado, apparently he knows all the words and he's looking forward to singing along.
I will be difficult not to sing along. I am an aficionado of Gilbert and Sullivan, and I've seen some very good productions and some pretty bad productions, and I'll be interested to see how this holds up.
And this is the reason why we're in the city. All that random footage Will took of Nick Cave. This is the reason why we're here this time, just a flying visit. This time we're back home tomorrow, but I'll catch up with you later. We're in the hotel room. It's quite early and we're getting ready to leave, unfortunately. We've enjoyed this holiday, and two things have happened. One, I seem to have lost the return train ticket, which has made me very annoyed with myself. But as a consolation, we get this lovely view of hot air balloons drifting across the city on this really perfect morning. So I suppose I should try not to be too annoyed about losing the tickets, which for those of you watching this from the UK are not actually very expensive. I think it's just over $20 for the two tickets, which is pretty... £10 worth of tickets I've lost, which is still annoying, and I am annoyed at myself, but this is a very attractive site. The city's looking lovely.